Yo, what is going on, you onion cutting Oshawott? Today we're going to be playing some games with Kian Amini's first placed ReshiZard, Quad Volcanion, Greens Engine, Firebox deck. I don't know what you really want to call this, but this is the deck and list that Kian Amini used to get first place at Santa Clara Regionals. So we're going to go ahead and try it out, see how it runs. I'm personally not a huge fan of the Greens Engine, but the man just took down a regional, so we got to give it a shot. Let's go ahead and see how this deck flows. Getting into that first game here, we are going first. Got that Volk start, ReshiZard on the bench. See who we're up against. I see Volkner. It looks like Baby, or it looks like Zapdos. Looks like we're up against the Zap. So Turt or Volk is going to be our main attacker in this one. We will draw that mulligan. Not gonna bench this guy. I don't really want to bench him in this matchup. There's a Surge. Not gonna be ridiculously good. Definitely want a Flint. And we want another small guy. Let's check a Pokegear first. There's that Welder that we can use as a follow-up. I will Nest Ball for another Volk. And I think we are gonna greens for Flint. Plus, well, we got the Welder now. Flint plus something, man. Actually, I don't know. Definitely a Flint, and we're definitely gonna use it. Get some fire energy rolling. Could just get another Nest Ball to get another Volcanion, but we do have the Stretcher in hand, so that kind of covers that for us. Flint plus something, man. I'm actually a little bit lost on what I want to grab here. Nothing looks ridiculously good. Could get a Kukui for later. Could get a Welder for the turn after to set up another Volcanion and kind of keep them coming like that. That seems reasonable to me. And then we would Flint away Pokegear plus the ReshiZard. Keep the Surge. Alright, I guess that's good enough for me. Yeah, I'm gonna Flint away the Pokegear. The ReshiZard could get him back with the what's it called when we need to, if we need to, whenever we might need to. That's all four of them. Just kind of check what's prized. We did prize a Baby Volk. That's gonna be fine. Go ahead and take these four. I'm gonna put it on the bench. I think better safe than not. Yeah, and even if they get the knockout on this turn one, we can still get off. We go Surge, double Welder, draw a bunch of cards on our next turn. Yeah, we'll see what our opponent has going for them on this turn. If they get off like a knockout plus let loose, I could see that as being pretty rough for us to deal with. But if anything besides that, I think we should be good. There's that Mew grab early. Mew is actually super good against the Baby Volcanion in this matchup for them. Getting that 10 damages on the Volcanions, meaning Zapdos only needs one E-Power to take knockouts. So yeah, that early Mew is actually really good for our opponent here. Unlikely that they would actually be able to get a one-shot with a Zapdos. And even if they could, committing two what's it called early on. Ooh, and the Let Loose is back up. So super strong start from our opponent. We might not be attacking turn one here. We'll have to see how this Let Loose goes. A little bit rough looking so far. Maybe this Pokegear will be able to bail us out. We'll have to find out here in just a second. That's why I do feel like this build of the ReshiZard deck can be a little bit just rough at sometimes, man. That's how I feel about it. It like you get judged or let loose, and then you're hoping to pull it together from there. Like I didn't want to use that Flint early on, but we didn't have energy to attach for turn, so then we had to use the Flint. So now it's gonna be harder to set up from here. Yeah, gonna probably have to go with a Flare starter on this turn, which isn't too terrible. Hopefully this Pokegear finds us something reasonable. There's a Flint. So we could Flint away the Fire plus the ReshiZard. Getting rid of another ReshiZard does not sound particularly great, but I think it'll be fine. We still have the Stretcher in the deck. I can find that later on, get the ReshiZard. We probably only need one ReshiZard in this game, so let's see if we can't get a Welder here. No Welder. Did find a Greens, which will find us a Welder. So that's not too bad. So we'll Greens for a Welder, and I almost want to grab the Lieutenant Surge in case our opponent takes a knockout next turn. We can go Welder plus the Surge. We could also just grab a Nest Ball. I kind of like the idea of just getting that Nest Ball as well. Get that other Volcanion into play. There are also some more options. Let's go with that. Go ahead and grab ourselves the Volcanion, and then we'll go ahead and Flare Starter to this one on the bench that already has a fire. Yep. There we go. And we'll be attacking next turn. Finally, these Zapdos decks usually only play one let loose, so I'm not too scared of our hand being let loose the way again. This hand should be sticking. Thankfully, there's a Guzma on the Volk from our opponent. I think they're just going to do the same thing with the Mew, set up this one to get knocked out again. They can actually go... Can they do that? Yeah, they can put 2 here and 1 here, which is pretty annoying. Then this dies to 1 E-Power. Maybe I should have held off. I guess I could have gone 2 here, 2 here. I could have held off on actually benching this until next turn. Maybe that would have been the better play to go with, actually. Yeah, so now they can put 1 here, 2 here, and then this thing just dies to a straight up Thunderous Assault from our opponent, which is definitely not ideal for us. Hopefully it won't be too big of a deal. We'll have to see what our opponent comes up with as this game progresses, though. Yeah, we still have we're pretty set up to be able to actually do stuff for the next couple turns. If I had to imagine, yeah, should be 1 here, 2 here. We could have held off on benching this, actually. We could have got the Nest Ball but not used it. That probably would have been the better way to go, I think. Alright, here we go. Another Welder is super good for after this turn. Hopefully we like pull the Volcanion out of the prizes even. Let's just get them all set up ready to go. Or do I want to hold? I might actually want to draw cards with that with Welder instead, actually. So we're just going to go with that high heat blast, take this knockout here. And here's where the Zapdos start to come in hard and heavy. We're just going to have to do our best to kind of keep up with them on this from here on out. I am going to look to... I do want to find a greens here, I think. That's what I'm going to be looking for, is a greens off this Pokegear. I'm going to look for a Stretcher plus a Nest Ball to get these 2 back, plus this guy. I do imagine a Volcanion will be going down this turn. There is Thunder Mountain. Definitely actually want to get rid of that as well. Now we have to deal with the Buzzwole as well, which will be coming in on the next turn after we draw a prize. We have Guzma to be able to actually get around the Buzzwole, bring something else up to play around the Buzzwole. So he can go ahead and Sledgehammer if he wants. It's not really that big of a deal for us. Let's see if they whiff the E-Power here. I don't think they played it yet, did they? Oh, no, they did, yeah. I was like, I don't know why they wouldn't play it before. They did put a Lightning Energy here, which is definitely a mistake because they do have the Thunder Mountain in play. So we definitely want to get rid of that Thunder Mountain. We're going into the Sledgehammer turn, so I want to use the weaker one for sure. Yeah, so we're going into the Sledgehammer turn. We'll see if this Pokegear can't find us a greens. No greens, no nothing actually. So it is going to have to be a Welder play from us. Yeah, it's going to have to be the Welder, and I think I'm going to have to go ahead and throw 2 down on this to make sure this thing actually has enough energy in place so we can keep attacking on the following turns. Ooh, not a great follow-up. Nothing great going on. High Heat Blast. We're going to have to hope for another Volcanion here out of the prizes. There is 1 prized. There he is. All right, pulled him out of the prizes. That's great for us. Going to be able to set that guy up next turn. Get off another High Heat Blast, plus we can go with the Kukui, or we could go with the Guzma knockout. I wouldn't mind taking out the Jirachi with the Escape Board, actually. So I might do that instead of actually going with knocking out the Baby Buzzwole. If they bench the Zapdos, I would maybe actually even chase that instead. We'll have to really just wait and see what our opponent does. We're in a rough spot, though, actually. That for sure we're in a rough spot. We're kind of just running out of Pokemon. We unfortunately got rid of 2 ReshiZards there. I probably should have tried to keep one. Would have been very nice to have one at this point in the game where we're at right now. We definitely need something else to help us close out this game here. We can't rely on these last 2 Volcanions to do all the work. We're definitely going to need something else. I might go with the Kukui play actually here to KO the Buzzwole just because I need to draw cards. And Jirachis are kind of easy prizes later on that we can use to take knockouts with the Guzma. Because we don't even need the 4 fire energy in play. We do the 50 damage, so it just takes the knockout. But there's the Zapdos coming down, so I kind of want to chase the Zapdos. I don't know, I'm a little bit torn here, but we do need more cards, that's for sure. We definitely need more cards. So we'll wait and see what our top deck is and kind of decide from there. Oh, they're going with the Zapdos knockout here. We're able to get the energy for the Buzzwole. So I think we definitely just go ahead and take the Zapdos out. And it allows us to Kukui on this turn as well, meaning we don't really have to save for the Buzzwole. Anyway, there's a Stretcher. So I think we're going to go with the Shuffle 3 here. We're going to get 1 ReshiZard back and then 2 of the Baby Volcanion. I'm going to shuffle those in first before we Kukui because we do want to draw into them. There's a greens for next turn. And not going to do a whole lot for us this turn. It's going to be that bench attach and then high heat blast for the knockout. Our opponent is on 4 prizes, which means if they do play the grass Kartana, they can take a knockout with that this turn. There's a Max Potion, could definitely see that becoming useful later on. Haven't been able to bump this Thunder Mountain quite yet. Definitely want to try and pull that off soon, ASAP. 2 Welder left, alright, good to know. Yeah, so we're looking to use 1 more Baby Volcanion, and then close out the game with a ReshiZard. That's going to be our game plan. Baby Volcanion into ReshiZard. We're not going to be able to attack with Baby Volcanion next turn for a ton. We could go with a Guzma attached and knock out the Jirachi, but then we risk just losing because we don't have a bench Pokemon. So if we top deck a Pokemon, that would be ideal. If not, we're going to probably have to go with a high heat blast. And then we could greens for like Nest Ball plus our stadium, bump their stadium, and just start drawing cards with the Heat Factory. I think that's the play we're going to look for, and then we can maybe hopefully find, yeah, we'll Nest Ball into a basic Pokemon and then just Flare Starter for the turn. Hopefully get some good cards off of the Heat Factory plus top deck, and go from there. Well, this will all come down to what our top deck is. We'll decide what our play is from there. Yeah, we always have to remember they do have the Coco GX still. We haven't seen the Coco GX out of our opponent yet, so that's always going to be a threat here. Yeah, there's that E-Power. Yeah, so the Mew doing a ton of work setting up the numbers on us, actually, super effectively. I think they're down 3, only down 2 E-Power, yeah. So they can still pull off a double E-Power turn and knock out this guy on their following turn if they wanted to. Yeah. Mew doing a lot of work in the early game there. There's an attachment to the Marshadow. I would have put that on the Buzzwole. Setting up for swing around really isn't that bad. It's always like a nice option as the game progresses. Alright, there's the knockout on our Volk. And goodbye, Volk. We'll see what our top deck is. It's a Nest Ball. That's actually super good for us. Green's Exploration. So this makes me want to go with the Heat Factory play here. Heat Factory plus Welder. There's 2 fire, but we have 2 crystals left as well. We are kind of running a little bit low on energy, but I think we will have enough to close out this game. Pretty much no problem. I think we should be good. Let's go ahead and pull those 3. I'm trying to think if I want to play this Nest Ball first. How many Nest Balls do we have left? I think I want a Heat Factory first here, actually. 1, 2, 3. Okay, cool. Nest Ball. We're gonna grab the Baby Volcanion. Look for the ReshiZard on the following turn. Okay, we're gonna go with the Flare Starter here. I think I might attach to the bench as well. See, this deck doesn't play any switches, I believe, so thinking about if I want to be able to get into the ReshiZard, should they go with Coco GX next turn? Because there's a very real possibility that they Coco GX next turn. But I don't have, what's it called right now, a lot of energy. Let's just go with the Flare Starter. Yeah, I think I'm fine with just to start it off like this. Let's go with the Flare Starter and see where it kind of develops from here. We need to find a, what's it called for sure. Go with like a custom catcher play next turn with a high heat blast on something on the bench. I think would be a play to look for sure. Yeah, we'll see how this develops. Yeah, I'm not too afraid of our opponent actually knocking out back-to-back Volks, or being able to like one-shot. They shouldn't be able to one-shot our, what's it called, GX when it does make its way down. I think we're in like a pretty decent spot actually. We'll see. Yeah, the Coco GX here, if it comes down, could be a little bit annoying. But it really wouldn't be that big of a deal. There's the there the Heat Factory goes. I kind of expected that to happen for sure. There's like no way the Heat Factory was actually going to stick around for another turn. Well, very unlikely, and yeah, it does go away there. Okay, there's the Zapdos play. It looks like they might be, yeah, not quite enough to do anything too relevant, so we're in a good spot here. Set up these 2 Volks. I don't want to get the what's it called out quite yet. So I think we can go ahead, let's go ahead and play the Welder for 1 onto our active here. Draw 3, there he is. I'm going to go ahead and replace that with a Power Plant. Attach to the bench. Nest Ball, I don't know what we have left. There is 1 guy left. We have 1 fire. We need to get these Fire Crystals, but I don't want to bench this Volcanion, I don't think. Let's see. Go ahead and take a look at our opponent's cigar power. I know I'm getting timed out here. I don't think I want to grab him. Yeah, I don't think I want to grab him because I think I want to end up with this guy as the big end game. Big endgame boss here. The Heat Blast for another prize card here. And we have one fire left in deck, and we have a ton of we got a ton of potential stuff we can do. We have no way to really thin out our hand. This deck doesn't play Ultra Ball. I'm trying to I would like to thin out my hand to be able to use these custom catchers, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I really need to try. I need to draw into one of those and we should be good to go. We need to get one of those fire crystals. We can go with a double custom catcher KO on a Jirachi on this next turn. Put some choice bands down. Look for a fire energy. Maybe we'll play the Judge actually and look for one of those fire crystals or a fire energy. Get a fire energy on the ReshiZard, so we can start building him up towards knocking something relevant out. It only needs the 3 energy for the Double Blaze GX. So yeah, we're gonna look for that double custom catcher, I think, on this Jirachi on the next turn, and then look for some way to find fire energy so we can start building up the ReshiZard to draw our last prize. Really gonna depend on what our opponent has, but I think that's gonna be our game plan. See if anything changes in the next turn or two. Our opponent does play a Field Blower. That's interesting. You don't always see that all the time in this deck. There's the Coco Prism, so I feel like they might be going to Coco GX here. Not super necessary because this guy does just have 10 HP left, but we'll see. Yeah, so we know our game plan. Trying to think if there's a better way to go about it. I don't really want to bench the Eevee Snorlax if I don't have to, because that thing could get stuck in the active, which we definitely want to avoid. So yeah, I think it's gonna be double custom catcher something up, and then play the Judge and look for energy. There's a Lily for 2 from our opponent, so it looks like they don't quite have the Coco GX just yet, as it looks like they're digging for it. They've used this still. I don't know if they sent up the wrong Jirachi here. I don't actually know what Jirachi was in the active before. I mean, I think we'll find out soon. Taking their time on this one. Looks like we're close to maybe being able to pull this one off. There's the Ultra Ball, so I expect Coco GX to be grabbed here. There goes the Nihilego. Don't have to worry about him, although we're never in really a position where we'd have to worry about him. Yeah, there's the Coco GX. Coco GX is going to be knocking out our Volcanion. We do have 2 prizes left, so we could just look to knock out the Coco GX to kind of win this one. Could also go for the knockout on the, like I said, chase a Jirachi and then look to knock something else on the next turn with the ReshiZard. But we could just actually look to 2-shot this thing. We're hitting it quite right now for 50. Could make it 80 with a choice band, and then outrage for 60. Not quite there, so maybe that's not going to be have to quite. We could hit him with the Kukui as well, actually. Let's see what our top deck is. It is a fire energy. So I think this could actually work out here. I think we could go for the Kukui here. Uh-oh, it's not another fire energy though. Alright, so we're gonna have to go with this here. ReshiZard to the bench. Oh, there's still not enough damage. I think I still miscounted there. That's fine. Attach here. And then go for the high heat blast for 100 damage. So yeah, we're not actually quite there. We're still a little bit off. But we can still use the Surge next turn. Yeah, we should be able to chase this Coco down and clean him up here in just a bit. I think we'll be able to draw most of our deck here on the next turn. They shouldn't have a way to KO this thing on their turn. And if they leave this thing alive, we can chase down the Coco GX and knock it out with the Volcanion. So they can't leave this alive. They do have to knock this out. And I think the only way they can knock this out, well, yeah, I think the only way they can knock this thing out is through the Coco GX. I mean, I guess they could get the Nihilego back. Okay, so I guess they could win through Nihilego this turn and knock out our ReshiZard, or Nihilego even knock out the Volcanion, which would still be pretty annoying. So they could definitely actually pull that off this turn. But I don't think we could have, yeah, we can't have not benched that. We could have benched this guy with energy, I guess, and then put the choice band on it. Maybe that was the better way we could have gone, though. Is actually just bench this with choice band attached to it. Yeah, I think we actually should have done that. Once we got this free hit and on this Coco GX, actually. Kind of forgot about this guy. Initially, I didn't want to play him down because he was, like, so weak. And if they KO this, then it's really easy for them to KO this. But actually, I think we should have gone with benching this and attaching to this instead. Could even put the choice band down because they are down a Field Blower. And there's no way Zap Beast plays 2 Field Blower. Or I'm not going to play around 2 Field Blower and Zap Beast. So I think that would have been the play to go for. I think I made a little bit of a misstep there for sure. But we'll see what they pull off here. See if much changes. Or if we can still pull off just about the same play and win the game anyways. See what they have. Still have 2 of those Fire Crystals in the deck. That's pretty much all we need at this point. Oh, we need a little bit more now, actually. That's right, because I did mess up. All right, so we need Fire Crystal plus the Welder, actually, now. Yeah, all right. Yeah, so I could have just done it with this guy. Just needing the Fire Crystal. There's the Fire Crystal. So we can go Fire Crystal for 3. So So we can then go attach one. We can just kind of bench everything, I think. Throw a Stealthy Hood. I just want to kind of put everything up, and then we can Surge Judge, and then go from there. I could average for 60. That's not quite enough. Surge Judge. I think there's a Kukui. No, we're out of Kukuis. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw that here. I don't know. Throw the Hood up here. Play the Surge, and then play the Judge, and then hope for the best. Yeah, I definitely dug myself a little bit of a hole here by just not attaching to the Volcanion instead. 1, 2, 3. Nothing. Absolutely nothing here. Oh man. This has gotten interesting now. If our opponent has a Guzma, they win the game. I think it just has to be the Outrage. I can Field Blower away this thing at the very least. I'm going to rid of my own Stealthy Hood as well. We do absolutely nothing off that. We have 4 custom catches left. And a whole bunch of other stuff. It's just going to be the Outrage for 30. I think I have dug myself into a loss here. By not just benching this Volcanion and attaching to it after I got that hidden for 100 on the Coco GX. Well, we know how we should have won, but then my misplays have led us to the unfortunate game state that we are currently in. We'll see if our opponent has anything left to pull themselves into a win on their side. Currently not looking ridiculously good for our opponent. They don't have any other attackers set up, and they can't attack with this thing again, because then we just win the game through the Outrage. They do have 1 Guzma left, and if they do get it, they can just KO this Volcanion to win the game. I guess another thing I could have done would leave this in the deck, but I was kind of digging super hard there to just try and find the win there, which is not what happened. We can top deck a Guzma. Could also top deck a custom catcher and draw some cards. With that retreat, they actually don't have a way to KO the Volcanion. So that's pretty good for us as well. We'll have to see where this one goes. I'm actually... Oh, there's the Guzma top deck. So, despite my horrific misplays, we have somehow managed to pull ourselves back into this one. And we're going to take the dub here by knocking out this Coco GX with the Double Blaze GX. Only getting a little bit lucky there. And we get the win over the Zappies, which I think is generally a pretty good matchup. We had a little bit of an awkward start. You know, I'm becoming familiar with this deck and the engine and, you know, how to properly operate it. So a couple missteps in the game, but we still are able to take the dub in a favorable matchup there in the end. Into another one here, we got that baby Volcanion start. We got that greens and a nest ball, so looking okay so far. Eevee Snorlax, not so good. Not a very good starter. We got our opponent opening the Eevee Snorlax, which is good for us. Okay, there is a switch. Man, all right. Greens, go ahead and get ourselves a Flint and a Welder here. I'm gonna Flint away this guy and the switch. I think that's fine. Get these 4, and I think we nest ball for a ReshiZard here. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's probably the best way to go about this. Yeah, I think we want that ReshiZard here. This is a big dude matchup. We need the big guys, the big guns in this one, I think. I think we're going to be playing a mirror match here. I think we'll need a ReshiZard at some point. I guess we could have gone just like high heat blast and a high heat blast and a high heat blast. Maybe that would have been able to do it, but we would need like choice bands and Kukuis, which I guess we would probably draw into at some point. Our opponent is also playing the greens engine. Just have a little bit of worse starter than us. They could get nest ball switch plus fire energy here though, and that would set themselves up nicely with a flame starter. And actually we only do 110, so we couldn't quite knock out their Volcanion. Yep, there it is. Switch plus Flint. So if I had to guess, they have the baby Volk, Flint for a fire. Ooh, nest ball for what I would assume is the ReshiZard. Alright, so the game has gotten interesting, very interesting already, as they are going to be able to get that flare starter going first. We'll get the first Welder in, so we'll overhaul it, be a little bit ahead on the draw. We can maybe find another custom catcher and actually bring their ReshiZard up and hit it too, which would be very nice for us. We'll see what the cards have in store for us. We're going to draw quite a few cards this turn between the Heat Factory and the Welder, so that's nice for us. And we'll just have to kind of see where it goes from there. There's the switch into the baby Volk, yeah, and then into the flare starter. Well, I would assume they're going to end up on the ReshiZard. Yeah, hitting this for 110 does not seem great. So if we can get another custom catcher, bringing up this and hitting this instead is definitely ideal. But yeah, they are already ahead on the energy in play. That's going to make it difficult for us. We'll see. I think starting with Heat Factory is probably correct here. That's while Kukui is very good here. I think we should just grab another ReshiZard. Just kind of because of how poorly the Volcanions trade in this matchup. Getting another ReshiZard almost seems like the better way to go. We do have a Kukui in hand though. We can't quite do the Kukui play for the knockout. Maybe getting another one of these is just fine. Alright, let's grab him. Alright, Welder here. I do want to get 2 in play. I'm hoping to draw a Fire Energy or a Flint here. Nice. So we can just go attach. I did not get another custom catcher, but I don't want to not hit our opponent here. I guess I could have attached bench and then flare started. Maybe that would have been the better way to go, actually. Attach the bench ReshiZard and then flare starter. Ooh, I'm kind of liking that a little bit better. And then next turn, look for the high heat blast plus Kukui to take the knockout on the active baby Volcanion. Actually, yeah, I do like that a little bit better. A little bit better the more I think about it. I think I definitely made a mistake there. We should be fine though. I think we'll be fine. There's a Welder from our opponent. Not the Kukui. Yeah, that would have been a little bit smoother of a play, I think, overall. Fully loading up their ReshiZard. This is getting only a little bit scary. I'm only slightly terrified here. We need a way to deal with this ReshiZard. I think it's going to come through greens for a custom catcher. I'm going to bring this up and hit it with the baby Volcanion here. I think, yeah, fully loaded. We definitely need to hit that thing ASAP. Shouldn't be too big of a deal. Yeah, greens, we're going to get the custom catcher plus the Flint here. Get some more energy. I'm going to Flint away the Power Plant plus the Field Blower, I think. Yeah. So we can hit for 110. Ooh, we're definitely going to need like a Choice Band or something. Definitely need to draw a lot of cards here. Go ahead and nest ball. I'm gonna go ahead and at this point I'm just gonna grab another baby Volcanion. Yeah, and then we are gonna play those and bring up this ReshiZard. Attach to the bench and go ahead and smack this guy with the high heat blast. 110. So if we can get a Choice Band, we have the Kukui, so if we can get a Choice Band, we actually do knock this thing out, unless I miscounted, which I don't think I did. Nope. Yeah, if we do get a Choice Band, we actually do take the knockout with the high heat blast. So we have 20 cards left in deck. We can draw 6 of them for sure. Yeah, so possibly. I mean, if we can Pokegear into like the Lieutenant Surge, and then we can like Surge. I don't know. We have quite a few ways to draw cards. We can go like Surge plus Kukui plus Welder. Draw a whole ton of cards. There's their Greens Exploration. I wonder what that's gonna get for. Go get for them. I already know. It's going to be the custom catcher. Yeah, so maybe loading up this guy early on, or maybe just not even putting this guy in play, actually, was maybe the right play to go with. Don't even put the ReshiZard in play yet. Look for the Kukui Choice Band 2 shots on their ReshiZard and the Kukui 1 shots on their baby Volk. And kind of go from there. We can still be fine, for sure, in the current scenario. If we are able to find the, what's it called? Choice Band, we'll definitely still be fine if we can find the Choice Band. We'll just kind of have to wait and see what we draw. I definitely want to dig first. If we get the Lieutenant Surge to pull off a combo, that would be a big swing turn for sure. There's the custom catcher. Goodbye, ReshiZard. You did what you could. Just wasn't quite enough. Maybe next time, bud. That's fine. Yeah, so we're definitely going to go Heat Factory dig. And we're going to hold on to the Pokegear because we want to find Lieutenant Surge plus a greens. So if we can draw one of them off this, we can look for the other one off the Pokegear. And then kind of go from there. So yeah, we'll have to just kind of wait and see what this. We'll start with the Heat Factory here. Judge custom catcher, not great. So we're gonna have to Kukui into. Well, no, we can still do this. Surge, nope, that's a Welder. They're both the Choice Bands, a little bit off. So Kukui into Choice Band is the name of the game, I think. Yeah, Kukui into Choice Band. Ooh, both Choice Bands. All right, all right, all right. Loving it. Yep. High heat blast for the KO here. 160 damage. Goodbye, sir. And yeah, so actually, yeah, worked out pretty well. In a pretty good spot now. In a pretty reasonable spot. Yeah, we'll have to just kind of see how their turn plays out next. We can look to chase this guy and just KO him. He would be the last 2 prizes we need. Can look to do something different. Could go for like the custom catcher. bring this thing up, hit it with this. I don't know, man. I don't actually know how we're gonna play this out. We have to wait and see. Our opponent currently doesn't knock out our active, which is the big deal for our opponent. So they need to figure that out. That's the first thing that needs to be figured out from our opponent is what the heck are they gonna do with that? There's a ReshiZard down from our opponent. They have GX attacked, so they can't. Oh, they can one-shot us through Choice Band Kukui plus 2 more custom catcher, but that's a lot to have. They can definitely build up into that eventually, though, so we have to be aware of that play from our opponent. Man, there's a lot going on in this game. I think that's the play we're going to look for, though, is going to be the, as long as we have the other custom catcher in our deck, that's the play we're going to look for is custom catcher, knock this thing out with Flare Strike Kukui next turn, because we can do that over 2 turns. There's the Judge from our opponent, though. Uh-oh, that's a big play here if they do go for it. Looks like they're not going to go for it. They're going to go for the Welder onto their ReshiZard, which makes me kind of just want to chase this thing, actually, for the turn. But they are in a position where, okay, so we're not getting knocked out though. They're only going to be doing 110. They need to draw 3 prizes still, so we could just go knock out this and then look to 2-shot from there. Man, this one's weird. This one's definitely interesting. They would need a lot. They would need the Kukui. They would need a Choice Band. Maybe that's not even that much. And the double custom catcher when they're already down 2 custom catcher. We're tied on prizes, so it almost makes me want to not draw a prize so that they can't pull off the Lieutenant Surge combo and maybe make that play happen. I almost just want to like put this down and put a bunch of stuff on it. Yeah, this one's close. This one's weird. I mean, it's interesting. I'm actually curious. I don't quite know what we want to do here. This is really developing into an interesting spot. I almost just want to bring this up and smack it. But then we run the risk of just getting Acerola or something, or Max Potion even. So I almost want to build up into the big play. Let's go ahead and play this first, see what we have left. So we don't have access to the custom catcher, and we don't have access to the Lieutenant Surges either. So that puts us in a little bit of an awkward spot. We do have the Guzma in here, but that we can never pull off the big play that I was talking about. Let's go ahead and get this guy out of the deck. Yeah, let's go ahead and use this. 1, 2, 3. I think I do want to go for a Guzma punch this thing then. Let's go ahead and use this first to see what we draw. So this would have to get us the Guzma. There it is. We have 1 Guzma left. There's the Acerola as well. We could just grab the Acerola. Gonna go with the Guzma here. I could just go with the Kukui actually and knock. Oh, I don't even have to Kukui knock this thing out. Man, we're in an interesting spot. I actually, it feels weird. I don't know what the right play to do here. We could chase this, but then if our opponent has Acerola or Max Potion, then that puts us in a weird spot once again. But they're running out of Welders, kind of. They're running out of Fire energy. They only have 1 Fire Crystal left, so losing all that energy would be a pretty big deal. Could just go with Welder to one of our guys here. And then almost even retreat knockout. No, because I think they have to bring this up anyways. Oh, man. I think we do kind of have to do that, actually. I could bench. I'm just going to bench this guy and Welder to him. Screw it. Let's just go for it. Hope our opponent doesn't quite have everything. And then do I even want to attack with this is the question. Don't really want to give them Lieutenant Surges. Lieutenant Surge. But we do want the other custom catcher out of the deck. Or discard pile. Or prizes. Yeah. Let's go with it. High Heat Blast. If they got the Guzma, if they got the custom catcher Kukui knockout, so be it. That's a Heat Factory, man. I could have put my Power Plant in play, but I kind of wanted access to the draw power as well, just because they do have the Judge in the hand. So if they do Judge us next turn, we could be in trouble. I think we're. I don't know, man. This one's interesting. Once again, feels interesting. But if they have the double custom catcher Kukui Choice Band, we will be losing here on this turn. It looked pretty good for us in the start. But I think I have made a couple errors as the game has developed and has led us to the situation where we're not in such a great spot. Maybe we'll be able to pull this one back like we did the other one, but I have a feeling not really. I think what I should have done is just held off on benching the ReshiZard on the last turn, or in the first turn of the game actually, and just not put that in play and just built into some Volcanions. Gone with Kukuis to take 1-shots on their Volcanions, do 2-shots on their ReshiZard with the Volcanions. And we'll see if our opponent has it here or not. There they go. They actually play a Tapu Koko. I haven't seen this guy in the deck before. Maybe to set up knockouts with the High Heat Blast and stuff like that. That's actually a pretty cool tech in here. Actually, I kind of like that. It also gives you the pivot to work with as well, the free retreat. So I actually do kind of like that. It's actually a pretty cool addition to the deck that our opponent has. Yeah. There's the greens. So if that's not a Kukui though. Big thing to take note of, this greens is actually not a Professor Kukui. So unless they have some other damage modifier in their deck, and they've already attached for turn, so this makes me think they're going to Outrage knock this out and then look for a knockout on this on the following turn. Maybe they're not suspecting our Kukui to be coming up, but it's on the way. So we'll see. It almost feels like our opponent doesn't see the Kukui play coming, and they think they can set up for a knockout on the following turn on this. I didn't see what they grabbed there. Acerola and Fire Crystal. So it almost feels like they plan to Acerola this next turn after I punch it with my Charizard. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Peculiar line of play from our opponent. Definitely not an exact 60 mirror going on here, as they do have the Coco. I do really like the idea of the Coco, though, in here. But yeah, definitely not an exact 60 mirror. And there's the Outrage. So I guess we're taking this one. I didn't expect us to at a certain point, but our opponent decided to send this guy up and just go with it. Definitely not going to be enough here from our opponent. And we'll be able to take this one with the Kukui play. I don't know if they just didn't see it coming. Maybe they weren't thinking about it. But it is here, and it will be winning us the game here with this Flare Strike for the 280 as we take a win over the mirror match. Not just the ReshiZard mirror match, but we're both playing the greens engine. Yeah, we take a dub here. Alright guys, I hope you liked this video on the first place winning ReshiZard list from Santa Clara Regionals, piloted by Kian and Amini. I'm not sold on the greens engine myself, but I think it works a little bit better than I had expected. The heavy Volcanion build is interesting as well on top of all that, and I'm definitely going to be playing around this deck a little bit more, give it a little bit more of a shot than I have up to this point. Greens isn't quite as bad as I've initially thought it was, I don't think, and we'll see where it goes. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, be sure to give it a like. If you're enjoying the content, be sure to subscribe. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Check out the description for links to my Twitch live stream as well as social medias. Have a good day. Thanks for watching, and peace.